This is Solo P1. Why is everybody surprised about Max Verstappen? Why? I've been calling it for years. Solo P1. This is Solo P1. The Brazilian Grand Prix race day review. Can you call it a review? You can call it what you want. But this is Solo P1. Well, that was an amazing weekend of motorsports. Absolutely amazing. Congratulations to George Russell. He done what he needed to do to win this race today. A lot of people were saying Hamilton's car was damaged at the beginning by, guess who, Yep, Max Verstappen. This idiot will never learn. But George Russell got the race, got the job done. He's the one who stayed out of trouble, and Lewis Hamilton managed to get a P2, which I was surprised. When Max Verstappen, just idiot, inept geek, didn't just pull out what he was supposed to do, because that was Lewis Hamilton's line. It was Lewis Hamilton's corner. He decided, no, I'm not going to pull out. Why should Lewis pull out? No, that was his corner. So they clashed, and I thought that was the end of Lewis's race. I know Lewis continued after that, and he continued to pass everybody, but his car was damaged, but he still got on with the job. But Lewis Hamilton, Mercedes, George Russell, the weekend belongs to Mercedes. Mercedes are now back. Officially back. They will challenge Red Bull Racing from now forward. That's just the way it is. Look where there was. I'm not going to go into, I said this yesterday on my qualifying video, sprint qualifying, where there was at the beginning at the season and where they are now. Amazing. Hats off to Mercedes engineers. Hats off to the technical team. Hats off to the engineering team. Hats off to Toto. Hats off for the feedback from Hamilton and George Russell. The collective team, where they was at the beginning of the season and where they are now, absolutely magic. No, there's not a lot of happy Red Bull fans out there. You know, that's just the way it is. Because the reason why they're not happy is because they know that Mercedes are back. Very simple, really. They are back. They thought, oh yeah, this is going to be a Max Verstappen era. Max Verstappen's going to rain on everybody in every race, win every race to the end of the season. He's going to rain. No one's going to beat him. But no, Mercedes are back. So get used to it. Get used to it. It's going to be an amazing season next year. I could not wait for the W14. Now, the race. One of the best races of the season. Not just because Mercedes got a 1 and 2. It was exciting the whole weekend. Sprint, even the sprint, the qualifying sprint qualifying, race day. It was all exciting. It was all exciting. Mercedes. This is where Mercedes, where when we look back in time, in 10 years time, 20 years time, when we're going to pinpoint a time where Mercedes decided, right, this is it now, we're coming back. We are going to be on par with Red Bull or even better than Red Bull next season. This is where it was. Brazil 2022. I believe if Lewis Hamilton wouldn't have, I'm not taking nothing away from George Russell. I am not taking nothing away from George Russell. He deserved this win today. He won the sprint qualifying. He won the race. He done everything in his power to win this race, and he deserved to win this race. Before you idiots start coming on my comment section on Twitter and saying, nah, you're just a Hamilton mark. No, I'm giving credit to George Russell. George Russell, I'm a big fan of George Russell. I will repeat myself. I'm a big advocate of George Russell. And if you know me and you know me, be following me for years, you know I've always been one of the biggest cheerleaders of George Russell. Very simple. But if Lewis Hamilton wouldn't have damaged his car at the beginning because of Max Verstappen, by the way, his fault, and I'll repeat it again, Max's fault, I think Lewis Hamilton would have won this race. It's the fact that he got a little damage on his car. It could have cost him whatever, how much it would have cost him. And I just think if he wouldn't have got that damage on the car, I think he would have won this race. Max Verstappen, at the end of the race, he was getting interviewed by Sky. And he said at the end of the day, right, I thought he would have learnt by now. We didn't have the pace today anyway. So if they knew they didn't have the pace today, why did you stick your car there and knew that what was going to happen? He knew what was going to happen. His mission was to take out Lewis Hamilton. Very simple. He hasn't learned. He'll never change. It doesn't matter how much he comes on the screen and say, look, we're talking again. He's an ignorant idiot. Inept idiot. And that proved today with his teammate, Checo Perez. Look at Checo Perez. Checo Perez has helped Max Verstappen win the 2022 world title. He has been a big help to Max Verstappen winning this title this year, and he helped him win it last year as well. Even though to me, Lewis Hamilton, even though Hamilton won it 2021, but he helped the points gap with Red Bull and Mercedes last season. He was a big part of that team last season. Look how we drove in Abu Dhabi. Look how we drove in Turkey. Go watch the 2021 season. Go watch it. And he was a big advocate for Max Verstappen and what happened in the 2021 season. Trust me. And the team, which I do not like Red Bull at all. And I will say it now, I do not like that team. I do not like what they stand for. I do not like the way they operate. But Red Bull, when your team principal, your team says to you, move over, let Checo get that place, because Checo is fighting for second place. Second place, they won a 1 and 2 Red Bull. They've won the constructors. Max Verstappen is world champion. He's first at the beginning. He was number 1. He is the gold standard for this season because he had the fastest car up to now, by the way. But Checo wants to get second. Red Bull want the bragging rights. Red Bull want 1 and 2. But what does Max Verstappen go and do? No, I'm not going to do it. You know what I said before. I'm not going to move up for Checo. Now, for me, that is absolutely ignorant, selfish, inept geek. That's what I say for Max Verstappen. He could have moved over for Checo after what Checo has done for him in 2021 and 2022. He stood in line. They told him to wait. They listen, he's not stupid. He knows that Red Bull favour Max Verstappen. He's not an idiot. He knows. And he's helped out Max Verstappen in the 2021 season and the 2022 season. And he could at least move over Checo so Checo could get those points. So when he goes into Abu Dhabi, he's in front of Charles Leclerc, because Charles Leclerc and Checo are fighting for second place. But he couldn't do it. He goes, no, I'm not going to do it, because he's a spoilt, ignorant child. And this is why I don't like him. And I don't care how much Max fans are out there. I don't care how much you come out and say, oh, he's talented. You know nothing about Formula 1. Go away with your 2022 Twitter accounts. Don't tell me about Formula 1. All he is a dive bomber. Dive bomber. I've been saying it for years. You're never going to change my mind. So don't bother write your tweets, because it's never going to get through. They're all going to get filtered out. Nobody cares. I will not respond to 2022 accounts marks with numbers on the end. Not going to happen. Right. I'm going to get on to the race at the beginning, how it started. Now, Charles Leclerc. Actually, getting to race day now. Lights out. Look, Russell had a good start. He had a good start. I thought Hamilton was going to get him at the beginning, but he didn't get him at the beginning. He got a good start though. So it was 1 and 2 Mercedes straight through. It was nice and comfortable, 1 and 2 Mercedes. Then all of a sudden, Daniel Ricciardo, which a lot of people are saying he done it on purpose. This is his way to say to Zach Bryan, go stick that team up your arse for dropping me. he knows he's not going to be there next season. He's probably got his seat somewhere else, maybe in Indy cars or stock cars or whatever category he wants to go. And he's probably got his season for next season sorted. He's not in Formula One. His aim is going to have 1 year out and then he's going to come back the year after. We'll see how that goes. Because there's a lot of young drivers coming in. And I want to know if he does come back, where's he going to go? The only spot I can actually see opening for him is at Red Bull. Especially with this Checo thing going on. Because like I said with Checo's saying there, we're not on the team radio when he goes, oh yeah, we know what kind of person Max Verstappen is now because he never moved over. There was a big argument and he outed out Max Verstappen on the interview. Good for Checo. He outed him out. And that needed to be done. But that's the only place I could see Daniel Ricciardo going. He's going back to his old team at Red Bull because Checo's contract finishes next season. So there you go. That could be a nice slot for Daniel Ricciardo to come in to support Max Verstappen. Because if he goes to Red Bull, he's not going to be the main driver. He ain't going to be the main driver. Max Verstappen runs that team. Simon Lazenby, finally in his 10-year career or 15-year career as journalism, he actually asked a good question. He said to Christian Horner, does Max Verstappen run Red Bull? Christian Horner went red as always, like a beetroot, avoided the question, and that's all. That's all you got out of Christian Horner. So, Daniel Ricciardo, let's go back to Daniel Ricciardo. Daniel Ricciardo hit. He tried to go down the inside, but where Magnussen was, and he clipped Magnussen, and Magnussen spun round and hit Ricciardo. So there was both a DNF out of the race. That brought out the safety car. So I was thinking, look, the race has just started. We've got a safety car. This is how it's going to be for the next hour of the race. Because I knew there was going to be a few safety cars in this race. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. So, after the safety car, this is where I had a problem with what Russell did. Now, when the safety car finished, it was, I think it was lap 5. Yeah, I think it was lap 5. No, it was lap 6. Lap 6, it came up and it says the safety car's ending. So I thought, right, safety car's ending. We're going to get a good race again. But when the safety car ended and they had the green light, Russell was still swerving with his car like that. And I was thinking, no, you need to take off because Max Verstappen was right on Lewis's arse. So basically, it was like he bunched up the pack. So he spun off and left Hamilton there vulnerable because Max Verstappen was behind him. Max Verstappen got a cheeky toe off him. Still didn't pass Lewis. Lewis was holding him off. So when they went round by the centre S's, Max Verstappen stuck his nose where it didn't belong. Hamilton had the corner. His car, he had his nose in front, and Max Verstappen decided, right, I'm going to try and go here. And he knew what the outcome was. See, he doesn't care because at the end of the day, he's won the world title. He doesn't give a shit about Lewis Hamilton crashes. He never did anyway, but he doesn't care if he crashes. He's won the world title. He's world champion. He's got the record for the most wins in one season. That's because we had 23 races and he had a car was on nuclear power. Just saying. But at the end of the day, he knew that what was going to happen. He knew what the outcome was. He probably thought, oh yeah, Lewis is either going to back out or we're going to crash. So what happened? They crashed. And then Lewis went onto the side road. I thought then Lewis' car was damaged. Lewis came onto the radio, said to Bono, what's happening in my car? Bono said, I can't see any visible damage. So that's basically what he was saying is, you've got damage, but still carry on. Max Verstappen flew into the pits, he was in the pit for 10 seconds, changing his front wing. So basically, he's out of the race. He ain't going to win it. And then a few laps after, he came on the telly. He says, Max Verstappen, 5-second time penalty. Now, it really should have been a 10-second time penalty. And of course, you had the Twitter hardmen. I'm hard. I'm going to type. I'm hard. Max Verstappen shouldn't have got a penalty, you idiots. That's what you get out of the Max fans. The IQ of a box of fucking crayons. Go, boy. Now, after that happened, I thought, right, he got away with it again. George took too long, in my opinion. So, Max took Lewis out, in my opinion. That's just my opinion, but it didn't work out for him at the end because Hamilton carried on, didn't pit. Lando took out Charles. Straight after that, Lando took out Charles, and that brought out another safety car. And I thought, this is it now. Actually, it wasn't a safety car. It was a yellow light, and then after that, it was resume. So when he hit Charles Leclerc, I thought Charles Leclerc was out of the race because the way Lando hit him on that corner, I thought, that's it, Charles is gone. You might as well give Checo the second in the Drivers' Championship. But Charles, like a soldier, he soldiered on. he carried on with the race. He changed his tyres and he got back in there. Good for you, Charles. So basically, that was a race in a nutshell. Hamilton was still chasing Russell. They'd done a few pits. Hamilton came in on the medium tyres. They should have kept Hamilton on the medium tyres a little bit longer. Everybody's pitted. Hamilton stayed out on the medium tyres on the soft tyres for long. And then he came in, put the medium tyres on, then he came back out. And Hamilton, to me, had the advantage. He got it back into second place. I think it was like 6 seconds behind George Russell. Russell was on the old soft tyres. Hamilton was on like 6 lap old medium tyres. And he was fine. And I think they didn't need to pit Lewis Hamilton. Hamilton should have stayed where he was. And when they brought him into the pits to put the new tyres on again after the medium tyres, he was saying, why did you pick me? Tyres are fine. Well, Lewis, you should have said, you know what? Don't pick me, I'm fine. But he never said anything. What he did, he did say anything, but it was too late. He was inside the pits. What he should have said when they said to him, pit, he should have said, no, I'm not pitting. He should have done what George says. Someone says to George, pit, and George don't want to pit. He's not pitting. You've got to be transparent and clear over the radio. Don't moan when you're in the pits. It's too late then. It's too late. So as the race soldiered on, everybody started pitting again. Hamilton was like, put the soft tyres on. And then as the race progressed, it was a shootout between Lewis Hamilton and George Russell. George Russell was slightly faster in the middle sector. And I think he had more aero on his car than Lewis Hamilton, because I think Lewis Hamilton's floor was a bit damaged. So I think he was losing downforce in the middle sector, and that's the reason why he was losing time. The first and third sector was fine, but the middle sector, where you need more aero in the track, he was losing downforce. And that's the reason why Hamilton, for me, didn't win that race. But at the end of the day, right, hats off to George Russell. George Russell deserved that win. I'm happy for him. We've got a 1 and 2 Mercedes, but imagine now. But as I said, at the end of when it finished, Checo was angry. He didn't move over for Checo. That's all over the news. They're airing all their dirty laundry in the news. Checo said, yeah, we know what kind of person he is. He just showed his hand. Well, Checo, I could have told you, if you would have emailed me or phoned me over the phone, I could have told you what Max Verstappen was like. Very simple. They used you, Checo. Red Bull used you. And now you know. So, next week, we have Abu Dhabi. Now, I'm not a superstitious man. I don't believe in conspiracy theories. But for this once, maybe this is the way it's supposed to be. This was the way it's supposed to be all along. Russell was supposed to win this race. And next week, Lewis wins Abu Dhabi for retribution from last year. Imagine that. Lewis Hamilton wins Abu Dhabi 2022. And it be his only win of the season, and he does it the last win of the season. Imagine that. And everyone's going to be happy for him. Lewis Hamilton is definitely going to cry. There's no way he's going to be able to hold his emotions in if he wins at Abu Dhabi next week. And get a 1 and 2, and he passes that checkered flag as race winner of Abu Dhabi 2022. You imagine how that... Look, if he does that, nobody's going to care about what happened in Brazil. This is the way it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be in Abu Dhabi, where he wins his race. The last race he won, which was in Abu Dhabi 2021, and they stole it from him. He finally gets his race win of the season, and he does it a year later in Abu Dhabi 2022. This is the way it's supposed to be. They've got the car. They got, to me, equal speed to Red Bull. Now, the other day, I thought they were just behind Red Bull. I know they were faster than Ferrari, but I thought it was just behind Red Bull. But this proved today that Mercedes and Red Bull are on par. Maybe in certain parts of the track, the Mercedes was just slightly faster. And now they're going to go into Abu Dhabi 2022. And I know Max Verstappen is going to be up for it. Max Verstappen is thinking about this race. He's going to throw everything at Lewis Hamilton at Abu Dhabi in less than 6 days' time. He's going to throw everything at Lewis Hamilton. And Hamilton is going to throw everything at him. And if Russell has to do the job, move over. Move over. Because this is going to be between Lewis Hamilton and Max Verstappen. Hamilton will get retribution at Abu Dhabi next week. This is where it's supposed to be. And that's it. This is Solo P1. You know what to do. Hit the like. Follow me on Twitter. You want to listen to me on audio? You don't want to listen. You don't want to look at my ugly face every time you watch it. You want to listen to a podcast. You want to listen to it in your car. You want to listen to me in the gym. Go on Spotify. I'm there. I'm on iTunes. I'm on Stitcher. I'm on Amazon Music. I am on all the platforms for audio. Go and check me out, Solo P1 F1 podcast. So, you like gaming? Hit me on Twitch, man. Follow me on Twitch. I'll be on Twitch tomorrow. I'll be streaming F1 2022. So, this is Solo P1. I hope you enjoyed yourself, guys and girls. Give the video some love. Get it out there in the algorithm. Let's get this channel going. This is Solo P1. Signing out.